We know that's a burden for you. How many of you had no parental involvement at all? Your parents weren't together, you weren't raised by your parents, and you're doing yours? Okay, can you just tell us a little bit about that?
Well, like, I live with my grandparents now because my mom left when I was like a year, or I don't remember how old I was. And my dad lives with my stepmom, and I don't like her at all. Like, she like really doesn't, like, I don't know. And my dad listens to her all the time. Like, my brother, he's like 7, and he would ask me if I could go over there. I'm like, you have to ask Daddy, and he would say no, not now, maybe later. Then he keeps on asking him, and he kept on saying no, and finally he just like stopped asking because my dad would always say no. But I live with my grandparents, and sometimes he goes over there, but like I hardly see him though.
Yeah. I'd like to introduce one of my students that I had previously, and I just met her this morning when I'm coming through, checking on my seniors at Madison School, and I'm so proud of her. She's still in school and she's getting her bachelor's now, and so I've asked her if she could just share with you a little bit about the support that she's had growing up and a little bit about her experiences as far as parents being involved in her life. So I'd like to introduce at this time Alejandra. Thanks. Hi.
Hi, my name is Alejandra, and I was a student with Miss Seibert. I had her for, I was in my sophomore year, and I was really proud of her. And well, right now, I've been out of high school probably for 7 years already. Since I was small, I have always had support from my parents. They had some education from Mexico. They always emphasized the importance of getting an education. My mom used to work as a teacher in Mexico. My dad was an engineer in Mexico. And when we came here to the United States, my dad started selling bread. And my mom went to work on the fields, and she's still working on the fields. So that was more like a teaching for me on what to keep on going to school, seeing them get that effort for us, and from them having a career in another country, they came to work on the fields and like selling bread. So that was like a really good reason why to keep on going, and they're doing this for us. So we need to make worth their efforts. We need to make it worth it. So they have always supported us, even my sisters and me. They never told me that I had to work. I got married 3 years ago, and I was still living at home. I was always working. I started working after I graduated from high school. I didn't have to work when I was in high school. I worked and I paid my school. I had to go slowly because I had to work and pay. So, but they always, I always had a roof with them. They never told me, oh, you have to get out or nothing. So they supported me that way too. The schedules, my dad even got me my car so that way I could go to school, to college, since the college you have to drive and sometimes you have to go at night. He even got me my cell phone, so if there was an emergency I could call, and so that way I could communicate with them.
I'd like to finish up this tape by saying that this action research plan that I've been doing enlisted a couple of really good surveys, I think, for my students. I had over about 500 kids participate in the surveys. I had some actual interviews and observations with some of the parents, with some of my students as well, some of their parents, not too many parents, but I was able to get some of those. And some of the administration of my school I was able to talk with. I worked closely. I really loved from our first semester the idea of a human relationship approach to teaching, and so I feel like I'm still always thinking about that in the back of my mind. As I delve into lives, I want them to know that it's because I really care about them, that I want to know more about this subject, about this particular one, about how teachers can really enlist the help of parents to get them more involved so the students can be more successful. I used also real lives. I used a lot of really good case studies and literature review for my data and read tons of them. I have probably 50 of them that I got off the internet and through our literature reviews. They've really helped me to understand the nature of this project and what others have done in the way of looking into this particular question. The majority of my 150 plus a day students speak English, and it's not a problem. I only have a few that don't, but it's not the case with their families, and so I have had a little bit of problems with the English barrier, the English-Spanish barrier that I have. I don't speak Spanish well at all. I probably have 20 words, and once in a while I'll have one of my students write down what I need to say, and then I can say it, and then I don't know where to go from there because they'll answer me in Spanish, and then I'm like, okay, yeah, that's all I have. So it's been a little bit more difficult. It's been quite a challenge. But with the help of my students and with the help of parents and just knowing, I think sometimes our hearts just transcend what we're trying to teach. And I think they understand that I'm coming from a place of genuine concern and that I really do want to learn more about that so I can be a better teacher. This has been a good learning experience for me. Obviously, I have learned a lot. I never have done one of these before. And without this class and Dr. Foster and Dr. Ulrich and Goodman and all of the professors that I've had, I've really learned a lot. It seems like I know that I just pull the things out that I really believe in and I feel that I believe in and that I want to be a better teacher about. And so maybe I don't get everything that I should out of all of the lessons, but I feel like I am a better teacher after this class and after this research design project. So anyway, that's all I've got. I really enjoyed being with all of you in the cohorts. I know that Keith is going to be looking at mine. I'm sorry that I'm a little bit late on it, but I have a new grandson and I went to Texas for a week and my life is busy. I love being a teacher. I'm teaching on my prep again, so I don't have any downtime. I have 2 clubs on campuses, which I love dearly. The Fashion Club, which has almost 100 girls, and very busy and active. We're putting on a special ed prom on December the 3rd, and so we're busy with masquerade ball things. And I have the new club, Teachers of Tomorrow, on campus, and it's small. There's only about 15 in that club, but they're active, and we've raised funds for the tuition for their Unitrack through Fresno State. And I'm the advisor of the class of 2012, so it's been a busy year. I do weddings on the weekends, so if anybody knows, if anybody needs a good designer, I love doing weddings. I just did one about a month and a half ago, and I do them only about once a month, but it takes some time too. But anyway, thank you for listening, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.